Hello to my English-speaking friends tonight. I'm sorry you had to wait one day longer, but you are actually quite lucky because I figured out that I missed a few tiny points in yesterday's video, so I will try to remember them tonight. And yeah, it will be interesting because I find it kind of, how can I say? It's a bit of a challenge to just translate, like to reproduce the same video you produced in German in English. So bear with me, I'm trying my best. First of all, I wanted to thank you all that you are in the group, that you are still in the group. I'm so glad about this. And thank you all for all your contributions. This group really lives from your contributions mostly. And yeah, but as I said in the very beginning, everyone is free to contribute, but even just being in the group, hopefully just reading and sometimes listening in is also your energy, a kind of presence in the group. So no must, you don't have to post anything. So I did a few notes, and why I'm doing the video, actually, I'm not sure if you really followed all the correspondence because most of it is in German, of course, but one of our members asked a question, and it was a very deep and meaningful question, and I really wanted to answer this in more than just a short text response. I found it quite meaningful one. So the question was like, what is actually gratitude? What does it really mean? And for example, in situations, why is it that especially in situations when other people are in pain or they have less than us, or don't know, in some sort of suffering situation, we ourselves, of course, might feel very sorry for them, but we feel, okay, now I'm really grateful that I'm well now. So, and is that right? Is that right to feel in that moment gratitude? And at the same time, also, this question came a little bit in, why is there so much suffering, so much pain, so much fear and so on in this world? And I put the question behind it maybe also, what can I do? What can I do? Is there something I can do? Is there something I can help or I can do for me or for others in that situation? And I noticed that actually it was a great question, and we should really probably have started with the definition of gratitude in the very beginning. So I started to look it up, and I just want to read that out for you. I found one official definition of gratitude. I'm just going to read it out for you. So gratitude is a positive feeling or attitude in recognition of material or immaterial benefit that one has received or will receive. It describes an inner state of being or a feeling that is expressed through dedication, appreciation, and recognition. Gratitude is both a state and an action, and I would personally add also, it's also a state of mind, in my opinion. A state of mind, a state of mindset. It often arises spontaneously and is usually perceived as an inner expansiveness or warmth that affirms the goodness of life. So that was one of the definitions I found that quite resonated with me as well. What I found really interesting in that one is this bit with the gratitude for material and immaterial things, and also this closing sentence with the goodness of life, so that affirms the goodness of life, or the benevolence of life. And I said at that point that I found it quite interesting because I told you about the Egyptian gratitude group, and I noticed that there are different things we are grateful for. And in the Egyptian gratitude group, there were often, of course, also material things people were grateful for, but also very often immaterial things. Whereas in the German group, I figured out very often we were thankful for people, for things, for, materialized things. So materia, which is very interesting, and also later has an interesting aspect on the topic of suffering. Let me come to that later. I don't want to judge it. I just want to share this analysis with you because I figured out it's quite interesting. So as we know now, because we have a definition, there are different sorts of gratitude, and actually often they are connected to judgments, expectations, and belief systems. That's the bit I said a little bit differently yesterday in German. Who does actually say, that something is bad or good or painful or not painful, or, when does that start? This is a very interesting question, and it's very much connected to judgments, which hence can cause a lot of the suffering, actually. So we might look into that later. And there is a strategy, it's actually coming from an economical background, called first principle thinking. And it essentially means that you request the old definitions of things and try to make yourself completely empty for new definitions. Almost like a child, that has never heard of gratitude, and you start asking questions. So what is gratitude? So when do I feel that? So who says that in that moment, and so on. So, and in the next step also to newly define and create your definition of gratitude. So imagine that it serves you and others, even if it may sound very paradoxical, because, everybody knows what gratitude is, hey, but maybe not. What if you could make your definition of what is pain and what is not pain, and understand that it's all connected to expectations, belief systems, and judgments? This is a very powerful one. So I invite you to think about this. And I could share a lot now on different views on these kind of topics. And in many religions and philosophical and psychological and so on wisdoms, and also from a scientific point of view, from happiness research on the topic of gratitude, it is very, it is commonly said how precious it is, and if we can learn to use it in a positive way in our life and integrate it in a positive way and not suffer from it. So that's also the reason why I wanted to create this group. So your definition is very important, and in the end it determines whether it serves you or your environment or not. And I would say, or one could say, that without gratitude, you would even increase the suffering. Because let's face it, there is a situation which is not so nice to look at, which is somehow giving us a heavy energy. But if there was no learning of the situation, not you being in this moment understanding that you have an energy of lightness in that moment, which is a kind of a gift, but even that heavy energy for the other person, or that painful thing that's happening to that person can be a great gift to that person. But for you at the same time, you can be grateful to not having to learn through such kind of experience, maybe. I hope I can explain it to you in a way that it's understandable. So I would like to share a bit of more of my knowledge and experience with you on that topic. Because for me, planet Earth is really a learning planet. And that's the reason why we experience so many paradoxes here. But we need this dualism, because without doing mistakes and recognizing and understanding, and without bad, there wouldn't be good. Without dark, there wouldn't be bright and light. Without men, there wouldn't be women, because there would only be men. It's always this kind of dualism that we face here, and which gives us the chance to find ourselves and to recognize ourselves and the other, but in the end understand that it's a whole, that it all belongs together. And also us and ourselves, we incorporate the good and the bad, the dark and the bright, the beauty and the beast, the male, the female. So this is I think a very important point. And I mean, I don't want to go too much into that now, because that's why I would like to launch workshops and seminars, or maybe online courses, where we could go into all these super interesting personal development topics. But they are very powerful. There are very many ways to look from an integral point of view at, for example, different development stages, where maybe only at some point you are really at a level, and I don't want to say that this level or this level is better or worse, but it's just some kind of level that enables you to see the dualism and be grateful for it, and see it as a gift and as a need also here on planet Earth. But still, of course, I get the point, and I'm totally with you on the same page, that there is this question, why is it? Okay, why? Maybe we understood a little bit now, but what can I do? What can I do to not make the suffering worse? To maybe be in allowance with it, but, bring things a little bit more in equal balance. And I have this dream. I can clearly say I have this dream, and I totally go for it. I think I did all my life in different areas of my life. But I want to even do it more and more now, again, more and more consciously, to bring this world into more equal balance. And I do this already with the horses. Everybody who knows me from the horses, this is an area of life where I focus a lot, and it's very important to me, and I enjoy it very much. And you can, it's also all about the balance, but actually in every area in life, and you can really just copy that on every area in life almost. It is about this balance. And so now I want to do this also with humans more. And my mentor, my horse master trainer, he once said, because you could go very deep with him on these topics, like also peace and war and so on. And he once said that, if we want to make the horses world better, we first have to start with the humans to sort out their issues. And that made me really think a lot, and also about my things and what I am coming to the horses with. And it made me really think a lot. And also this kind of what he said about there will always be peace and war and always this kind of balance. And I really struggled because my Sagittarius heart was like, my endless optimist inside myself was like, no, but no, this can't be. I didn't really want to be in allowance with it so much. I am, and I definitely agree, but I figured out for myself at some point that I would like to equalize the amplitude a little bit. I did this beautiful drawing yesterday and we figured out, it's very unprofessional still, but hey, there are these big amplitudes nowadays, where you have peace and war and super rich people and super poor people suffering. But where I would like to be a contribution to in our own life and in everywhere in the world, to get more of this kind of balance, to more of this little lower amplitude, and of course not like completely beep completely everything in disbalance all the time. That would be boring, like kind of that would be dead, but you see what I mean. So I wondered if this goal is achievable at all. Is it legitimate to actually go for that goal, or is it that I'm completely going for something that is never going to happen? But I honestly truly believe that this is possible, and if people get more conscious, we can reach that. And there are a lot of people going for that. We are a big field. Sometimes it doesn't feel like that, but I'm sure. And honestly, also, even if it was never possible, I choose to decide to be on this sunny side, and on this light side, and to work for that side of the balance. I want to take my energies for that side. And that is also my purpose with this group, to bring more balance, equal balance in your life, more consciousness. So I got a bit lost. This video was even longer than the German one, believe it or not. But coming back to the important question of how does suffering and pain arise in the first place? Because I think this is super crucial here to see that. And some suffering maybe actually really just happens, like things happen to you, bad things, that we judge as bad. But still, there must be some sort of sense. I mean, I guess, I don't know, but I guess for me, in my world, there is some kind of sense. Even if I just believe it, it's much lighter to take it that way for me. And also, I believe the universe doesn't make mistakes. But what is even more important about me is that much suffering is really self-created. Like, even if it just happens for you, you can still decide what you make out of it. But a lot is really self-created, mostly through unconsciousness. And if not all, actually, I would say all suffering. And so we cannot always choose the circumstances, but we can choose how we react to it. And this is where our power lies, and often I know we feel so powerless and like a mini part in the universe, like a magical dust, whatever. But we are so powerful on the other side. So this is another paradox. And it is so crucial and important and relevant what we do every day in our life and how we do it. So this is very important for me to remind people of that. And, we die one day. And so it's so important what we do and how we do it. And coming to an end now with this video. It's very long, sorry guys. Thank you for listening. I have a little exercise for you that because I want to give you something in these moments of maybe doubt or fear or something. When you're thinking about gratitude, is it good to be grateful here and so on? It's just a little exercise. Just if you want to do it, I will have another video for you. Feel free to do it. Thank you for listening for such a long time. Grateful for that. And yeah, have a nice evening.